Hail adventurers, this is Looking for Party. I just decided to record this because, oh, hey, why not? It's been a long time since I made any real content. I had a podcast called Looking for Party, a Final Fantasy XI podcast. Did about 30, 40 or something episodes. Had a good time with that, but I kind of stopped playing Final Fantasy XI, so there wasn't really anything to update about. But I did enjoy doing that, and I tried to do Final Fantasy XIV, but that game was garbage, as you probably know. So I didn't really get into that, so I kind of fell off it. Tried to update a little bit, didn't. So I decided I'd like to make some more content. Since it's been a while, and I've wanted to do another podcast, but I'm just too lazy. So I figured maybe if I just set a video camera up and talk into it, I can actually do something for like a few minutes. So I don't really have a list of things to talk about. I just figured I'd just kind of shoot my mouth a little bit. So if you don't know, which you don't, why would you? I started playing Final Fantasy XI a little bit after launch, the US launch. A friend of mine was in the beta. I remember seeing him run around, about the Sacred Dania, ran around, it's been a while, I'm blanking here, ran around Taruville, Windurst. He was running around Windurst. I remember being so amazed by the graphics. I'm like, wow, this looks so amazing. He was playing on the PC beta. I didn't get in, which is kind of surprising. Well, I didn't think I had a chance of getting in, but I live in a small town. But since he got in, it's like, oh man, if I signed up for the PS3 beta, I may have gotten into the beta. But oh well. So I remember that, and the game came out, and so it was me, my character, Parilius Alexander. Parilius is like was my fantasy internet handle. Whenever I did nerd stuff, I would use that. So I was that. I guess I shouldn't. He played a female character, so maybe I shouldn't say he. We'll be a little ambiguous. I had two friends in real life he played. I tried to get my little brother to play, but we didn't have two copies of the game, so we had to kind of share an account for a little bit. Then my little brother stopped playing, so it was just me. But anyway, so I had one friend named Oak Grease, I think I don't really know. He played a monk. I believe was his main job, and another friend who was Jesus, my memory is terrible. But anyway, she was playing Paladin, I believe. So anyway, we started playing all about the same time. But the problem was, I was not hardcore. Like my friend, she got like really high level, like super, super fast. Both these persons are dudes, right? But I'm just saying he, she. Really, really fast. And I just couldn't keep up. I tried playing, but I just couldn't grind, you know? I played Asheron's Call before this, and I think I'd played Asheron's Call 2 for like a day, and EverQuest 2 wasn't out yet. So yeah, Asheron's Call was really the only MMO that I had played. I got pretty far, like 40 something, but I couldn't get like level 80, the really high stuff. I just could not grind. So my friend, she just passed me a level so fast. I just kind of ended up doing my own thing. My other friend, Oakry, I just didn't really bump into him much. We were all on the same server, but we just didn't. Our levels are all different, our play styles are all different, so we didn't really bump into each other. I was just kind of more of the casual, just kind of, run around, do my thing type guy. So we all played our own pace. I just never got into the game at first. It wasn't until my friends had kind of quit or gone their own way, and I'd actually stopped playing. I think I burned out maybe around 6 or 7 months or so. I was playing Dark Knight and just grinding, not getting any parties, and I was just kind of like, I can't do this. It wasn't until Chains of Promethea came out that I really got into Final Fantasy XI. It's just one of those things where, finally it clicked with me. Finally I started grinding. Finally started getting parties. I was like leveling all these types of jobs. I had a really good time with it. And one of the worst things about being me is I'm retarded, so I don't remember the people I ran into or the things I did. But the part of my brain is kind of like, you had some good times there. A lot of bad times, but some good times there. So yeah, that was Final Fantasy XI. I played that on and off for years. I think I haven't played it for like a couple of years. I wanted to come back with the expansion that came out, but there was like, you can't buy a physical copy, at least not in the US, maybe somewhere else. You only had to get it digitally if you wanted the PC version. So that kind of saved me, because I was getting ready to go to GameStop, buy a copy. I went online, saw you couldn't do that. You could only get it online only, and I don't really like buying games digitally. I mean, I do it from time to time, but it's just not. I like having a physical copy of a game, even if the game install itself is digital. I'm old. I like that. So I ended up not buying it. So that's Final Fantasy 11. We can go back into that in a little bit or some other time. So Final Fantasy 14. The excitement. You know, Final Fantasy 11, I was still playing it. I wanted to quit, but I needed my Final Fantasy fix. So when I remember the E3 where Rapture, aka Final Fantasy 14, was first unveiled, and it's like the trailer was kind of dumb, just adventures in a chocobo, but I remember the excitement. You know, it's one of those things where there are a lot of MMOs out there, but Final Fantasy 11 just triggered me in a way that the other games don't. So when I saw 14 for the first time, the visual style was just that magic that Square managed to pull off the 11. So I was excited about the game. So I remember signing up to get into the beta. I got into the alpha, actually. I don't know if this is something you talk about whenever, but I got into the alpha. It was really frustrating because they really limited the play times and whatnot, but I finally actually got to play like a month or two after I got into the alpha, and it was terrible. But I thought to myself, hey, it's the alpha, no big deal. Then the beta started, and that was terrible. It's kind of like, at first I was like, well, it's the beta. They can fix this. They can fix that. But then I looked at the timeline. I think it was like E3 when they announced it was coming out in September. And it's like E3 is like in July or June or July. It's like I knew right then and there was no possible way that they could fix this game the way they needed to and still meet that timeline. So that's when I started to get worried. And that was really frustrating because you go on the message boards, the official message boards, and everyone's like a Square Enix fanboy, and you're trying to say something negative about Final Fantasy 14, and they just jump on you like that. And it's kind of like, hey guys, this game is bad. We should be complaining. We need to fix this. You don't just bow over and take something mediocre. If you want it to be good, you have to speak up while it's still being developed. But anyway, well, I'm pretty negative anyway. But anyway, I played that. The game came out. I remember, getting in there and it's like thinking, boy, this is the same as beta. And people are like, oh, no, don't worry, man. This is just the pre-release. As soon as the official game comes out, they're going to have this big patch. It's going to add all the stuff. And the official release came out. Nothing. Like, oh, no, don't worry, man. They have this content update. It's just a week or two out. They're going to roll it out. All this new content. The game's going to be great. No. So I remember my real life friends that I played 11 with, the two that I mentioned, they went over to 14, and we all hopped on the same server, ready to play, and like one of them, she was like, yeah, I'm not playing this. It's kind of like I was just defeated. I'm like, I know this game is bad, but it's Final Fantasy, so they're gonna get my money. I just can't do anything about it. And my other friend, Oakrees, I'm not sure if he remade the same character or someone else. He was kind of in my boat, but not quite. So eventually, I think they both quit very, very soon. I kept playing. I logged in on occasion since it was free, but I could never get into that. I mean, the highest job I got in Final Fantasy 14 was 37, and like the next one 30, and that's kind of it. I don't have any level 50s. I don't have any artifact armor. I didn't do any of these end-game quests because the game just wasn't fun. So yeah, I tried playing it here and there, and I didn't pay for it until Legacy status happened. So then they announced like, hey, there's a cutoff for this, and then like actually literally about the last minute, I went ahead and re-upped because they had like this notice where it's like, hey, you need to hurry up and get your 3 months in because this Legacy thing is going to end soon, and I went past what people were saying was the official timeline which you had to register. But since the beta wasn't supposed to start, the Final Fantasy 14 A Realm Reborn wasn't supposed to start until October at that time, I figured, hey, I still have enough time. So I re-upped, I think in June or July or something like that. And then that September, the end of that September, they cut it off like a month or two early. I was ecstatic because I made it. At first I was really, really worried because people were like, nope, you're screwed. Haha, we're Legacy. We're better than you. You didn't sign up. Haha. So I was like, oh no, I didn't get it. But I think the 14th of September or so, poof, my Legacy status icon appeared, and I was like, yes. And a lot of people got screwed on it. That was so sloppy on Square Enix's part. You can say like, hey, you should have registered ahead of time, but really, they were not clear in their messaging. They should have just straight up said, hey, this is the end date, the end. Not just change, not saying, hey, you have until before beta starts, or you have to do this, you have to do that, just exact date. It's really, you can't really blame people when the message wasn't clear. But anyway, I got legacy status, so screw you if you didn't. So yeah, that's, I think I'll go ahead and end this here. I can talk more about it later, but hey, let's stay on this topic for this video, because I need to cut my naps and shave. I have work to go to in a little bit. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you for joining me, and have fun out there on your adventure.